Isak is Chief Executive Officer of DigiTeams. And Isak is what I like to call my secret weapon. So Isak's going to be talking about bringing DeFi to the world. And DeFi is the piece of tokenomics that is the missing link that's going to make all of this work. Isak's an entrepreneur himself, a business strategist, and a visionary leader in the space of IT. In the last 20 years, he's worked as an executive manager for global organizations across Africa, Europe, the Americas, Asia. He's got an MBA from Henley, and he's contributed to a number of conferences on digital transformation. He's also an expert in inventory management and supply chain optimization, which for those of you who know me know that it was an area that I worked in. So we're a part of a support group who love to talk about inventory. I know it's weird. He's been recognized by the Accenture Innovation Index, Sunday Times, top 100 companies, Frost & Sullivan for his innovative leadership. And he's about to help lead the emergence of what is really the forefront of the fourth industrial revolution. Isak Marais.
Thanks, Honey. Right, good morning. I think what I'm going to do first of all is just to give you a bit of a, not a wake up, but something really interesting. So can I ask our video team just to play this 20-second video to light things up a little bit. Right, so that is in essence what I'm going to talk about, and I must say kudos to our balance technical team for putting this video together in less than 24 hours. Okay, so I'm going to talk about bringing DeFi to the world. So maybe what I should do is just talk about, you see two logos at the bottom. The one is the DigiTeams one and the Balance logos, and it's two organizations. So Balance is really an ecosystem that exists to enable crypto users to bridge between centralized and decentralized businesses. We're a team of product strategists, business executives and financial engineers, and blockchain developers from around the world. So this is really a decentralized team making use of the best skills in the world, putting this team together. I think our unique selling point is fast-paced DeFi innovation and development. We've built multiple ecosystems from exchanges to bridges to algorithmic stables. There's two things I want to highlight. Experience, because anybody can say, I went on Codify and I know how to write a blockchain and I'm quite cool, I can do it. But running these type of projects and having the practical experience is what it's all about. The other side is this environment in comparison to what we get in our traditional real world businesses. The speed is 90% faster. And maybe just a, how can I say, example is how quickly the team put together this video, because we said we need something to sort of lighten the room up. But it's also in the rest of the, call it the DeFi world, goes faster than your traditional company, because companies have hierarchies. The structures of these subject matter experts allow us to act much faster. We have to act much faster. Okay, and so what the team has done as well, they've locked in millions of dollars of value and thousands of customers around the world. So we've got a big following. It's not only the four of us, because I've got part of our team here, which I'm really excited about. And later on, if there's any technical questions, you are speaking to the best of the best. I'm just the mouth. The clever people are sitting in the audience. Okay, so where do we fit into, there's one slide that jumped out, and that's maybe the DigiTeams that I didn't bring up. So where DigiTeams comes in, it's a digital transformation company, and there's 4 pillars that we base our innovation on. And the one is people, subject matter experts that I talked about earlier on. So if you don't have subject matter experts, you can't innovate. The other side in process innovation and using agile processes and design thinking into innovation itself. Second one, or the third one that we have is really on bringing software as a service solutions, but as a complete solution. You know, if you look at traditional business, you might have a accounting system or ERP system or CRM system. We bring all those things together because it all forms part of how to manage a business. They don't work in isolation, they work in one sphere. And then last, our focus very much from DigiTeam's side in the last few years was on machine learning and artificial intelligence. And now we've added the blockchain service in as well to provide a complete service to our customers and our partners that we have across the world. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Where do we fit into the FORUS ecosystem? So we're really bringing crypto markets to FORUS. We're the blockchain partner. So all your different projects here will run via our infrastructure and our designs. And we're using blockchain technology. We tokenize the FORUS ecosystem to allow crypto users to invest in real world projects. So this is where the bridge comes in. How do you get the money to flow? Via the system itself. We also facilitate the buying and the selling of tokens through the FORUS marketplace. So creating the Wild West. The last few weeks, it's been a bit of a Wild West in the crypto environment. But let's just go back a few years in July 2015 when Ethereum introduced the world to smart contracts. Amazing time. You know, it's like Alexander Graham Bell getting the telephone going. This is one of those moments. So people interact with computer code which performs predefined tasks. It was never done before. Now it's part of our ecosystem. So took crypto from currency to that of that is traded something which can be organized, structured, and ultimately provides utility. This is huge. And that's why I'm sort of slowing down a little bit on it. But there's challenges in the Wild West. Okay, it's easy to create all these tokens, really. But once you go into the security side of managing these different tokens, that's where knowledge comes in. And again, we've got a phenomenal team. I'm saying we're blessed. We haven't been crushed like a lot of the other guys. This is due to our security protocols that we've had. So developing the tokens itself, I wouldn't say is easy, but it's easier. Protecting it from hackers is where the difficult lies in. Okay, so, and again, industry standard requires that expensive security audits. We've heard about that yesterday in the presentation. So what mistakes and issues we've learned from others? So protocols had to provide outrageous returns, okay, in order to attract investments. Some of them real Ponzi schemes. We've read about the Ponzi schemes. To promise somebody these huge returns, I'm sorry, I'm still a traditionalist. It's not possible. Okay, you're just creating a hype out of the whole system. But what we and we've seen that with Terra Labs happening in the last few weeks. So growth occurred when partners partnering with other DeFi within the ecosystem of DeFi. They partnered with one another, and that's how they created value. But now we are able to do it with the outside world. They couldn't do it before. Okay? And the outside world in the crypto talk is us real business people. Okay? Real value at the bottom of the so okay, most were based on unsound financial business models and principles, and that's why it didn't work. Okay. So revising balance, and that's where balance changed the whole business model. So balance organization aims to break the cycle of unsustainable business models, unsustainable growth, by really using the USD balance, USDB coin, okay, to value real world assets and act as a store of value. So you've heard about stable coins. We are in the stable coin environment, but now we're linking real world assets to the value, not something in the sky, okay, real world values. So we're partnering with organizations like FORUS to create bridge between crypto and the real world. We handle the crypto and they handle the real world. So that's what Sunny does. I met him 6-7 weeks ago and we started talking, and it's based on a show that he had, I think, on MoneyWeb. And I thought, this guy's onto something in what they're doing and what they're standing for, and that's where the whole process started. Okay, so blockchain benefits. So really, it's complete transparency. You can really see each and every transaction and audit it. It's not like you need PriceCoopers or somebody that goes into a company and it takes them 6 months to see what happens in the Steinhoff fund. No, it's not 6 months, sorry, a few years. Yeah, it's instant. That's what blockchain is about. It's instant. You can see it immediately. It's transparent, public, not private, public audit trail. And then security of the network itself. So it is good. The technology is very sound, but it's how you work with the technology that is important, and having the knowledge and the security protocols. Okay, so real world assets, and I'm going to go into a few little examples as well. All payments are 100% visible, and anyone can see the payments. Who of you have got wallets? Hands up. Okay. You can testify to it. Okay. It's not something that I thought out and saying. It's there. So blockchain and USDB provide infrastructure and financing in real-world assets in a completely transparent way. And we guarantee zero corruption. And we know, it's really difficult to manage processes if they are not 100% visible. This technology provides it to us. Okay, so non-fungible tokens, making pictures useful. Yesterday we heard a little bit about it. Unlike traditional NFTs, these tokens are real-world documents. Now, we talked about a document yesterday, but it can be art, it can be anything, okay? That you keep, but you create a token out of it, and you generate, as I said, what was it with Sunny, the Mandela? $130,000, and that's normally lying in an archive. So it's quite important to understand these things and what you can do with it. So you can trade, lend or borrow your NFT in a DeFi which is backed by a real asset. Now traditionally you could only do these refinancing if you had shares. Well, it's becoming a bit difficult now in companies and saying, I own 50% of Tesla. I'm going to lend a couple of billion to buy Twitter. Okay. We can do that as well. Okay. But we've got real assets. Not that Tesla is not an asset. Okay, unique property ownership. Where's my lady? There you are. Okay. Read that bottom side. Owner, developer, architect. So what we can write into the contracts itself is a multiple chain of events where there can be follow-up income by the owners, the original owners that created the NFT or the building. Now, whether this is in art or in video that you guys are in or in production, every time that you create a show, and as you said earlier on, your sponsor of the show or the TV channel or whoever changes, you need to be able to write these things into the smart contracts. Some of these slides are made specifically for people in the audience. This one's made for me. Okay. So if we look at traditionally wine, and if you look at the big wine houses and wine cellars in France, whether it's a Châteauneuf-du-Pape or a Chablis or whatever that you age, They sell the assets, but it's a very difficult contractual side. Whereas now we have the ability through NFTs to sell it, and that asset can grow. And those wineries or wine caves can now start generating additional income, but you as an investor are also able to grow an asset. Because remember, red wine only matures and gets better over time. And as my wife says, me as a husband as well, I get better. Okay, fashion in blockchain, really fascinating. I don't know if you've lately, I think it's Vogue that brought out sustainable fashion tokens. So what are we looking at here? We're trying to determine where the products or the raw materials were created, and that's where the traceability comes in. We see this in the mining industry as well, and actually with sustainable mining, where does gold, is it blood diamonds or gold, where does it come from? Did they follow all the safety protocols of the people that mined it? So that traceability is becoming very important. And then linking e-commerce and blockchain transactions, fundraising through the DeFi, and the supplier payments through crypto. Okay. It's a big change. It's a big change for the fashion industry. And the reason why I understand the fashion industry, my wife works for a very well-known brand in London, and some of these are the challenges that they face with the traditional banking system. We can solve that for them. Okay, unique services. I actually just posted an article on LinkedIn, I think yesterday or the day before. But in short, who of you have imported products? Anybody here? Okay. Who understands the hassle of a letter of credit? It's really tough stuff. Now really, through tokenizing it and using the blockchain, we can simplify this process, make it much easier, but you still have the guarantee. Remember, at the moment, a letter of credit, you've got to deposit some money in the bank. You don't get interest on it, okay, while the bank holds it. Your supplier in the foreign country says, okay, it's a reputable bank, it's good, I'll start manufacturing the goods, it'll be on the ship, and once the different terms of the agreement is passed, he gets his money. But your money was tied up, and you didn't earn any interest. Through blockchain, we can change that. So these are some of the case studies that we're working on, and I'm trying to stimulate you as well, because afterwards I'm going to ask you to come and say what we can do for you. Okay, we want to be the bridge. We want to be your bridge. Blockchain can add very real benefits to society, and that's what Sunny is working on. And I think a lot of you in this room, what can we bring back to society? Some of the corporate systems are broken, okay? But again, now we're putting power back into our hands or the hands of the people that needs it, okay? And technology is going to facilitate it. We want to be the bridge crypto to the real world. That's what we want to do. And really, we're on the cutting edge of DeFi integration in the real world economy. Crypto has largely been navigating its own path. But we've seen what happened to the crypto environment. You know, the development of the technology was really interesting, but now it's time to start getting it into real world projects. Okay, the new frontier. We believe that the future of blockchain is using technology to further the lives of people around us. That's the essence. That's what we want to do. That's why this conference is here. And I'm not going to read through all this stuff. You can read the slides. What I would rather do is you to start thinking of questions, because I'm nearly finished. You can see on the, I am finished.